There we go. Hello, everybody. How we doing? Happy Friday. Welcome to the MoneyShift Facebook channel, YouTube channel, Twitch channel, wherever you guys are watching today. For those of you that are new to the program, MoneyShift is an automotive news show. So I've never seen one of these before, but effectively we go live every day and we talk about car news. So if something is new, if something is hot, if something is happening, we're talking about it and we're going over it on this program. So you guys have tuned into the right place. We got a bunch of stuff going on today that I'm really excited about. Not as much news as yesterday, but we definitely have a good amount of stuff. And this actually has prompted me to say that we got to do some account hygiene. We got to update our Twitch channels. We got to update some YouTube stuff. But anyway, we got a lot of stuff going on. Really excited to bring it to you guys today. We got really 4 pieces of news that we're going to be covering, including this video here. This might be one of the things that I'm most excited about. Actually, we have 2 pieces of video game news to cover today, so I'm really looking forward to bringing all that information to you guys. So as we so often do, I'm just going to hit that share button, and then we can get underway on this Friday. Ooh, it sounded good. I don't know. You know what it is? Actually, it's I don't know if you guys have seen the Little Dicky freestyle on like Sway in the Morning. I don't know, you guys ever watch that? Where Sway does Sway is a radio host on one of the Sirius XM like style radio stations, and effectively they do like they bring on rappers and other singers and they do sort of like this like freestyle competition type deal. And yeah, I just watched that one and it is ingrained in my head permanently. All right, anyway. Let's get into this because I think this is really cool. So Grand Theft Auto, it's no surprise, okay, but Grand Theft Auto is one of the longest lasting online games in history. Those of you that know me personally know that my background specifically is in gaming, in marketing, and Grand Theft Auto is one of the cornerstones of live ops for an online game. What I mean by live ops is the offers, the in-game events, the things that they do that just continue to make this game relevant. There is no game right now on the market better than Grand Theft Auto, and they continue to show that they just have it. Like, they just have it. And they came out with this yesterday. It is called GTA Online Los Santos Tuners. Check this out. It is awesome. Oh, I guess I should say this. If you're under 17, just don't watch this.
Welcome to the LS Car Meet.
Don't play that. Okay. I'm going to be pausing this throughout, so get used to it. But do you guys already have Need for Speed Underground vibes? Like those 2 seconds. Those 2 seconds, and I'm already like, is this Midnight Club? Is this Need for Speed Underground? Right? Which, by the way, Rockstar did make Midnight Club. Anyway, we continue. Look at this S2000 right here.
We got the fastest cars, trucks, bikes, all of it.
Bruh. Hold on a second. We got this Supra-looking ass car. Okay, cool.
We got the fastest cars, trucks,
cool.
Bikes.
Cool.
All of it.
Bruh. I understand. So, something you guys need to know, okay? A lot of times what these games do, all right, is they're skinning their current and existing content in order to keep things alive, right? So what GTA is doing is they're giving, they're bringing in a new car and they're giving it a new paint job or they're giving it a new wing. They're not going to fix things like this, right? They're not going to give you offset or whatever. Okay, anyway.
Only thing we don't.
Was that a 240?
Bikes. All of it. Only
Love that. Like an S13 type deal.
thing we don't got is beef.
The only thing we don't got is beef.
You look familiar. I know you from somewhere.
I just got one of them faces. Don't even worry about it.
We can watch it one more time, and I won't pause it this time.
Welcome to the LS Car Meet.
Don't play that this boy. We got the fastest cars, trucks, bikes, all of it. Only thing we don't got is beef. You look familiar. I know you from somewhere.
I just got one of them faces. Don't even worry about it.
Grand Theft Auto Online Los Santos tuners coming July 20. Grand Theft Auto 5, an internet connection required. Console online play requires subscription. So yeah, I don't know. Super excited for that, guys. I mean, anything that's like the days of when we were kids and we were playing Underground 2, we're playing Midnight Club Dub Edition, Midnight Club 3, Midnight Club 2, whatever. Those were the days, right? And I know we're not going to get a similar style where, you know, we're modifying with like Volk wheels and stuff like that. But hey, you know, this is like the closest we're going to be getting to it with cars like this and story modes like this, you know, so it is what it is. I'll take it. Look at this. What is this? An S12? Nissan, right? Shout out to the selfie. Look at these stickers on the side. Chipotle. Arrow. Love that. So funny. I thought this thing was sick right here. It's like IMSA looking ass car. Pretty cool. All right. Enough about gaming. Let's get, well, we got one more piece of gaming news, but we can get to that later. Koenigsegg has started production of the Jesko. Shout out to Fabian. What is up, my man? Hope you're doing well. Let's kick the tunes back on. Lower it a little bit. I think it's good where it is. Okay, perfect. So Koenigsegg has released the fact that they are producing the Jesko starting now, and it's freaking awesome, guys. I'm super excited. Let me give you the details again for those of you that just might not be familiar, so you can get familiar with what you're seeing right now. So the Koenigsegg Jesko is the hypercar, the newest hypercar from the brand. 125 of them will be made, and production starts right now. Now, the interesting thing is that all of them, I repeat, all 125 of these were spoken for before its debut in March 2019 at the Geneva Motor Show, which is crazy. And the reason why that's crazy is because this car was $2.85 million, and that's at base. Guys, the options on the Jesko are insane. You're looking at a $400,000 option if you want a carbon fiber bare body. You're looking at way, way crazier options. In fact, a fully loaded Jesko Absolute, which is the top tier version of the vehicle, is priced out at around $4 million. So you can get really crazy with this. So the fact that they were able to sell all of them before the car was even unveiled. Now, I know that the people that looked into this car definitely got to see the vehicle that was being unveiled, right? It's not like they just purchased it on a hope and a dream, but they also did to a degree, and that's a lot of money to be plunking down pretty quickly. So to mark the start for production, Koenigsegg showed off this awesome pre-production vehicle. This car is covered in tang orange pearl. It has silver and carbon fiber accents. This is the regular version of the Jesko. This is not an absolute. This is number 1 of 125. The first one is tang orange pearl. Big shout out to Tang for those of you that remember what that is. Now, for those of you that don't know the specific details of the Koenigsegg Jesko, I got you, baby. What up, Ben? How you doing? Well, welcome to the stream. The Koenigsegg Jesko is a twin-turbo 5-liter V8 on pump gas. It makes 1,280 horsepower with 1,000 pound-feet of torque. You put that bitch on E85, you're making 1,600 horsepower and 1,106 pound-feet of torque. But the innovation does not stop there. Koenigsegg has also developed what they call the Koenigsegg Lightspeed Trans. It is a transmission that leverages 7 wet multi-disc clutches, which allows this thing to switch between its 9 forward gears at, quote, near light speed. Now, this is Koenigsegg's last attempt at any sort of top speed. Okay, Koenigsegg is not going for any other faster time, faster speed, whatever. Maybe they try to get quicker acceleration. But in terms of that top speed number, they're saying their Jesco Absolute is the top. They're not going to be pursuing anything faster. Now, the claimed top speed is that in the right conditions, Koenigsegg thinks the Jesco Absolute could even hit 350 miles an hour if everything is perfect, which is crazy. Especially crazy considering the fact that Bugatti recently hit a top speed of 304.77. And if this thing is able to do greater than that, that is just absolutely nutso. What up, Brandon? Good morning, dude. Was checking out your photos last night. They are kick-ass, guys. If anybody is watching and a big fan of automotive photography, don't forget to go to Instagram and hit up my dude, B. Connolly Photo. You can see his name in the chat. Says, I wish I could shoot cars like this. Dude, you definitely could. Why can't you? I don't know where you're located geographically, but these guys exist and they love being photographed. You know what I mean? Nah, man, no worries at all. Super small stream we got going on, but hey, you know what I mean? All right, so the Koenigsegg Jesco, guys, definitely one of the cooler cars. I think it's interesting to note that this is the brand's final chance to go for that top speed. And for a brand that has been consistently going for top speed with all of their cars, whether it's the CCX, whether it's the Agera, whether it's the Regera, whether it's the Jesco, whatever it is, okay, the brand seemingly was always going for that top speed crown. So it'll be interesting to see what happens when they don't. What is the next vehicle? And I think we got a glimpse of that with cars like the Gamera, their sort of 4-passenger thing, which I had the pleasure of seeing a couple weeks ago. Actually, it was alongside a Jesco Absolute. I don't know if I ever showed you guys those photos. Koenigsegg did a tour where they went across the country with their Jesco Absolute and their Koenigsegg Gemera. And here in the East Coast, where I'm located specifically in Boston, they brought the cars out. So I was able to see both of them in the flesh, in the metal, I guess, if you will. And it was really, really crazy. I'm looking at my phone right now trying to see if I can find a photo. Yeah, I can. There we go. Bang. There they are. I know this is really shitty, but yeah, I need to link up with Koenigsegg, Florida. Definitely do it, man. Definitely do it. That would be awesome. Even if you just swing by the dealer and take the photos. You know what I mean? The cars don't need to be doing anything crazy. They don't need to be rollers or anything like that. It would be really interesting to see them. These cars are beautiful static, right? Absolutely gorgeous machines. So anyway, as I was saying, it'd be really interesting to see where Koenigsegg goes from here. The brand has definitely been pursuing a lot of high horsepower. So where does Koenigsegg go from here is the interesting question that we need to really get answered. If we go to Koenigsegg's website, we see there's a big emphasis on things like synthetic fuels. Hello on YouTube, my man. What up, Brandon? Thank you for tuning in on YouTube as well. I'm at this point streaming-wise, and I've had this conversation before, and we got some folks on here, so maybe this is a good one. I'd be curious what you guys think is the best experience for streaming overall. Is it Twitch? Is it YouTube? Is it Facebook? I've kind of sort of been leaning towards Facebook just because we've been able to get the biggest following there. Something like 1,600 followers on Facebook right now, whereas we're at in the 300s on YouTube, and then I think I'm like under 10 on Twitch. So I think I'm leaning more towards Facebook and might just dedicate all my resources towards there, but curious what you guys think along those lines. Thank you, Brandon. Appreciate that, dude. Appreciate that for sure. Well, oh man, I lost my train of thought. Koenigsegg, by the way, small thing. I've applied. Twitch and YouTube are a grind these days. Yeah, for sure. Definitely. There's no doubt. It's interesting, man, because I've actually applied to Koenigsegg personally like 3 or 4 times to their marketing department. This was back when I was like single and you know, wasn't really reliant on a specific location. I was like, yeah, Sweden sounds great. I'll go there. I'm sort of happy. I'm very happy it didn't. But anyway, let's move on to the next topic that we got to talk about in today's news. Brandon says, but here's the thing. Facebook will be the biggest reach till you gain a following. But Twitch has the most fun interactive-wise. That's totally true. Facebook's definitely improving. The thing with Facebook is it's investing a lot into its streaming service because it's understanding that one of the ways to captivate attention and to keep giving people ads, which is what Facebook makes the majority on, is to promote those that bring eyeballs and keep them there for a long time, right? If I'm on Facebook for hours on end, streaming to you guys, and I got, 50, 100, 1,000, 10,000 if you're Z-Laner or something like that, people watching, then that's just ways for Facebook to know they're keeping you on the platform. That's ways for them to keep serving you ads. So they're investing a lot of money in their streaming platform in hopes that they can, make some changes there. Brandon says, but so here's the thing. Oh, no, I read that already. Brandon says, however, it never hurts to do what you're doing and just do, yeah. Yep, totally agree. So that's, and I mean, here's the thing, right? Until you sign one of these deals, which I'm going to be real with myself, we're a long way off, right? Signing like an exclusive deal with anyone. We're a really long way off, right? You can stream on all of them, right? We're not partner on Twitch. We're not partner on Facebook. We're definitely not exclusive on YouTube. So you have the ability to do all three. So it's one of those things where it's like, why not, right? Like almost like what I say with, if you're editing photos, right, in Brandon's case, or if you're playing video games like a lot of us do, why not flick on a stream? You never know. You literally never know. And it's the same thing with this, right? Like this stream started with me being like, I talk about cars literally all the time, and I just have a fountain of totally useless knowledge. What is going on, Tim? Welcome. There's just so much going on in my head when it comes to car stuff that I want to talk about literally at all times. Why not just stream it and talk about car news and have fun with a bunch of folks? You know what I mean? Like, why not do it? And if something comes out of it, great. That's awesome. Shout out to David Eaton with the share. Appreciate you, dude, on Facebook. Thank you for that. If something comes out of it, that's awesome. If it doesn't, you can't say you didn't give it a shot. So if anybody is at home right now considering the same thing, whether that's playing video games, whether that's editing photos, whether that's being a race car driver, film it. What do you have to lose? Nothing. Maybe some time, right? Editing, posting, whatever. But after that, you don't have anything to lose. And the upside of being able to make it in a career that you love is great. That's huge. So everyone should consider doing that. Brandon says, it's just like myself. To continue to expand my reach, I have to try and be active on all the platforms, be it IG, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. Totally. And that's probably a huge thing too. I think a big emphasis for myself is going to be continuing doing the live stream, attempting to make at least a post a day that isn't the live stream on Facebook, Instagram, and trying to do a post a day on TikTok. I got to make a MoneyShift TikTok and go from there, sort of like a daily news rundown that takes like 30 seconds. But just got to figure out the editing cadence, right? And it's a different facet of your time. It's a hobby in and of itself, right? So if you guys are sitting there and you're like, man, shit, I don't have any hobbies. I don't got anything going on. I'm boring as hell. I just play video games. That's it. Nope. You got a hobby. You play video games, stream it. You edit photos, stream it. All of it. It's free to do, guys. Download Streamlabs OBS, download OBS Studio, whatever you got going on. Don't download any of them. Just stream directly. It's so easy, guys. There's no excuse. And if you're shy behind the camera, don't have it. Don't have the camera. Just talk. Just be the voice. Because I can assure you, if you're entertaining enough, there's people that want to watch. If you're you, okay, there could be a large subset of people that just want to watch it. So why not? Give it a shot. Do it up. You know what I mean? Like, you guys have nothing to lose. I've told everybody this. Everybody that I know that plays video games, I'm like, stream. Why aren't you streaming right now? And they're like, well, I don't have a mic. I don't have this. I don't have that. I can hear you. I can hear you on comms. All these guys didn't, dude. And I know we're getting way off tangent with car news, guys, and if you want me to rein it in, just post in chat, I'll rein it in. But all of these guys that you watch, literally all of them, started from zero. Hell, Tyler One, okay, who is one of the biggest streamers on Twitch, streams League of Legends. Shout out to League of Legends. If anybody plays, hit me up. I'm going to start gaming stream at nights when I play, after I upgrade this guy right here. But he still uses his headset mic. And he's got 30,000 people on Twitch, so it's not your mic. He still uses a Logitech webcam. So it's not about his webcam. It's just him. And it could just be just you. So get out there. Do it. Have some fun. And let me know about it. I'll watch. I'll hang out. I love supporting, love hanging out, love watching video game streams. So why not? Why wouldn't I want to watch my friends? And everybody who is watching right now is a friend, regardless of if I know you or not, right? So I definitely urge you guys to get out there. And if anybody has any questions or any tips about, like, you know, how do I set things up? Where do I do it? How do I, whatever, just DM me on the MoneyShift Facebook page and I got you to the best of my ability. But know that you don't need to invest in anything crazy. Look, I got a small bonus at work. That's why I got this guy. It's $200, right? I wouldn't have bought it otherwise. I needed a webcam because I work remote full time. And this isn't anything crazy. It's like the Razer Keo. I think it's like $60. But you don't need that. You can get like a Logitech webcam for like $20. You don't even need a webcam. There's plenty of people that are faceless. You know what I mean? So just do it. Have some fun. Have some fun with it. That's the most important thing. Is if you're not having fun, don't do it. But in my view, if you're playing video games, if you're editing photos, if you're going to the track, whatever it is, just film it. Why not? You got nothing to lose. If you've wanted to, right? If you've thought about getting into this space. If you don't do it, right? You don't have to like muddy your life up by trying to do all this other extra shit. But if you've ever considered it, just do it. You don't need that extra piece of equipment. You don't need that extra whatever. You don't need to lose 10. Well, just send it, dude. Just have fun and let me know about it so I can watch it. All right. Let's get into some more car news, shall we? This is actually some car video game news, okay? IndyCar is coming back with its first video game in almost 20 years. The last IndyCar video game was in June 2004, and it was called IndyCar Series 2005 by Codemasters. No bullshit, guys. I actually have this game. I played this. Codemasters in the early 2000s was unstoppable. They were creating video games based on the British Touring Car Championship. They were creating video games based on IndyCar. They were creating video games that had combinations where you could have a team and run a series. The OG Grid game was one of the best games ever for me. But they were just on top of it. Codemasters in the late 90s, early 2000s could not be stopped. They were making racing games for pretty much every racing series and doing tons and tons and tons of fun. Now, this is the first IndyCar game in almost 20 years. And the company that is going to be making it is Motorsports Games. Now, if you guys haven't heard of them before, they are the guys that make the NASCAR Heat games. So Heat 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. They also make NASCAR Heat Mobile. They also make R Factor and R Factor 2, which are kind of like iRacing-y type games. So this will be coming in 2023. I am super excited for it. I think the IndyCar series is one of the more interesting ones. I'll definitely buy it. I'm a big fan of these games overall, especially if it has a sort of shout out to Mark Van Boosky. What is going on, my man? Happy Friday. Especially if this game has an extensive career mode. One of the things that I really enjoy about games like F1 2020 is that they have this sort of like my team career mode where you can either run your own team and compete against the big brands, or shout out to Osama Ahmed. What is going on? Welcome. Cheers to you guys. Whether that's, excuse me, you guys with the likes making me lose my train of thought. God damn it. Extensive career modes are probably my favorite in racing games, whether that's me as a driver who has to work my way up through the ranks, right? Like in the Formula One games, some of them you could like start in F2 and then go to F1. Other ones, you could create your own team, make your own livery, hire your own teammate. Like F1 2020 was really, really good at this. You could create your own team, make your own livery, pick which player and driver you're fighting for contracts, your rivals, you're developing your car, all of this stuff. And F1 2021 looks to build on that. So I hope that IndyCar can bring that in, because the biggest difference with IndyCar and Formula One is IndyCar, all of these cars are static, right? They're all the same chassis. You have engine choices, but other than that, there isn't much. So hopefully they can bring in some dynamic element here when it comes to your career mode that makes it fun. And if anybody can do it, it's the one that does NASCAR games, because it's very similar, right? Those cars are also static, right? Same chassis. The engines are all the same spec, same bodies, right? Just comes some different stickers, you know what I mean? So if anybody can do it, it's these guys, but I hope they do, because extensive career modes in racing games, to me, are some of the most fun, as well as the online community, right? There's nothing better than racing with other people online, so I'm sure that'll be here. NASCAR Heat does a really good job. If you guys haven't seen Who is Fat Matt on Facebook, he's streaming right now, actually. I think he's streaming like a shark game or something like that. But he streamed NASCAR Heat on Saturdays with his community, and that's been really fun to watch, just like everybody get in together to the same game and play. So these are the guys that do that, right? Motorsports Games is the ones that's making that game. So they have the intangibles. They've done similar things in the past. So it'll be interesting to see where they go from here. Excuse me just a second. Okay. All right. So that is coming in 2023, and you better believe if there's any trailer or anything like that coming out about this game, we're going to be in it. We're going to be watching. We're going to be talking about it. But the last thing that I want to touch on today are the changes for the next Formula One cars. Now, if you guys are big Formula One fans, you'll already know that this weekend is one of the biggest weekends in Formula One. It is Silverstone. Sunday, July 18 at 10 a.m. is the Silverstone race. It promises to be one of the most interesting ones. And then right after that, August 1, we got the Hungaro Ring. So two really, really good tracks. But this week, Formula One showed off their new cars, okay? And I'm going to get into the regulation changes, and then I'm going to talk to you guys about why they're doing this, okay? And what the biggest changes are, why they're making them, etc., okay? Shout out to motorsports.com for these. This is the 2022 car, but with the liveries from the cars from today, okay? So let's get into the technical changes, and then we'll talk about why they made them. Number one, the front wing is completely different. It has an all-new shape. Number two, the wheels are changing from 13 inches to 18 inches, and with a low-profile tire. Wheel covers as well are going to be mandatory in 2022. Number three, the wing has a completely different shape. Number four, the floor was completely revised in order to ensure that these cars could create downforce with their ground effects, which reduces the reliance on everything else. And we'll get into more of that in a second. Number five, the weight is up 5%. These cars now weigh 1,741 pounds. The wheels are the main cause of that weight increase, but they also added some safety recs as well. So why are they making all of these changes? Why is Formula One literally flipping the script on their vehicles? They seem to do this every so often, and if you guys look over the decades, there definitely is a completely different vibe, look, feel to the Formula One vehicles. And number one, and first and foremost, top of the charts, the reason why they're doing this is to promote better racing. All of those changes that I talked about, the front wing, the rear wing, the floor, all of those were designed so that the cars could follow more closely to each other. Right now, here's a very interesting stat for you guys that you may not have known, okay? Right now, Formula One cars, when one Formula One car is in front and the other one is 3 car lengths behind, okay, F1 cars lose 35% of their downforce. That's substantial. And it gets worse. When an F1 car is 10 meters away, they lose 47% of their downforce, making it impossible to follow, making it impossible to dogfight, making it impossible to do anything, right? If you're behind someone, and we've seen this often with Verstappen and Hamilton and a lot of the mid-fight pack, it's really, really hard. Shout out to Andy. What is going on, my dude? Welcome to the stream. If you see these cars often there aren't dogfights because if someone is closely behind, they just wash right out. But now with the changes to the wing, with the changes to the rear wing, with the changes to the floor, these cars will be able to follow more closely. So their F1 is estimating that the 2022 cars, when they're 20 meters away, will only lose 4% of their downforce efficiency instead of 35%. And when they're 10 meters away, they'll lose 18% instead of 47%, which means that the racing should be better, and that's huge. Number 2, the cars are going to feature over-wheel winglets for the first time, and wheel covers are coming back. So the over-wheel winglets are, if you guys look over here at the front wheels, I should probably change the orientation. I'm looking at the stream, but I should be looking over here. Yeah. If you guys look at some of these photos, you can see little winglets going over the front wheels. It's less prominent in cars like the Williams because the livery's black, but they're doing that for the first time here. Part of the reason why they're doing this is, number one, sending airflow through the wheels is an enormously potent way for teams to increase their downforce. So if they can put wheel covers on, they're making it, a little less some malarkey for you to do. And then the over-wheel winglets control the wake coming off the front tires and direct it away from the rear wing so that cars can follow closer, right? A lot of the changes are so that cars can follow closer, right? That's really, really huge. So a lot of the emphasis has been made towards racing again, and it's going to be really exciting because most folks are going to be on a level playing field because they've all no one's raced a 2022 car yet, right? And what was it? Hold on. Design a bunch of we just do roll tips. Okay, I got it. And the last two things that I wanted to note about the F1 cars from 2022 that I took notes on that I forgot to mention. Number one, these cars will use the same power unit as 2021. So while there's going to be a ton of new things about the 2022 car, the power unit is not going to be one of them. So Formula One in 2022 will still have the 1.6 liter turbo hybrid units, which isn't a bad thing because these right now are some of the most efficient engines on the planet, but the only changes that they are making are standardizing some of the components to reduce cost and, again, increase competition. So they're going to be making a lot of the components in the fuel standard and adding additional sensors that allow the FIA to better monitor these power units. But the biggest change to the engine is actually what's going to be fueling them. So the current regulations are that these cars have a fuel that contains 5 to 7.5% of biofuel, right? So it's a naturally created, sustainable fuel. And while F1 is working really, really hard to introduce a fully sustainable fuel, something that is 100% natural so that they can still have these sort of internal combustion engines, but be powered by something that doesn't release any emissions. For 2022, they're going to be increasing that from 5 to 10%. So they're doubling the amount of biocomponent ratio that is going to be in the fuels that they're using in their cars. So while 10% is not 100%, 10% is a lot more than the 5% that we see today. This will be achieved moving to E10 fuel, which is ethanol 10, right? Crucially, the ethanol must be a second-generation biofuel made in a sustainable way. So this isn't just your regular off-the-shelf ethanol. And that means it'll have a near-zero carbon footprint. And this is an interim step before the brand can get to that sustainable fuel future. So this is exciting. We should be really pumped. We should be really jazzed. We should be really looking forward to the future. Because while 2021 has been an incredible season so far with Red Bull and Mercedes duking it out, Red Bull just looking flat out dominant. Mercedes clearly showing that they put a lot of effort in designing this car instead of perfecting their car for this season, right? While we know that's the case, next year is anyone's game. Alfa Romeo could come out on top. Who knows? AlphaTauri could come out on top. Literally next year, anybody could come out on top. And with the changes to the front wing, with the changes to the rear wing, with the changes to the floor, we should be getting some damn good racing because the cars can follow closer. And I don't know about you guys, these cars look hot. They look damn good. The rounded rear wing looks incredible. The wheel covers, the bigger wheel and tire look sick. Going from 13 to 18 inches, that's a big change. And you already know your boy's going to be at the Miami Grand Prix next year, 100%. So if anybody else is going to be there, do let me know. We can definitely make some sort of Money Shift meetup or something like that. That would be awesome. All right, folks, you guys have all the news you need to get through your day. But let's do a quick recap so that you guys can be sure that you have all the information. The first thing that we talked about, Grand Theft Auto is coming out with a Los Santos tuner add-on. This is to their GTA Online series. This is coming July 20. The brand that made Midnight Club is effectively introducing it into their game, and it is gonna be really cool. I'm looking forward to watching some folks playing that on stream coming July 20. Number 2, production for the Koenigsegg Jesko has started. The 125 unit vehicle that costs anywhere from $2.8 to $4 million. Its production has begun and it is gonna be crazy. The Koenigsegg Jesko is the last attempt by the brand to hit any sort of top speed, and in the right conditions, Koenigsegg thinks it can do 350 miles an hour. Now, as a reset, this car has a twin-turbo 5-liter V8 that makes 1,280 horsepower, 1,000 pound-feet of torque on pump gas, and it has a Koenigsegg Lightspeed transmission, which is 7 multi-disc wet clutches that allow this thing to switch gears at, quote, near light speed. Looking forward to seeing these things at Cars and Coffees in the future. And then we moved on to talk about Motorsports Games announced that in 2023, they're going to be producing an IndyCar racing game, which is really, really exciting. Motorsports Games is the company that makes NASCAR Heat and the company that makes R Factor. These are guys that know what to do with a standard race series. They make interesting campaigns. They make good online modes. So why not take that to a series that is reaching peak popularity again? And that is IndyCar. Super excited to see that game unfold. And then the last thing we talked about were the changes to the 2022 Formula One regulation, all of which promote closer racing. Whether that's the change in the front wing design, whether that's the change in the rear wing design, whether that's the change in the ground effects in order to promote more of the downforce being generated by the floor of the car instead of the air of the car, which means that it can follow closer. Everything that Formula One is doing is trying to promote more racing between its cars. And the other thing that they did was increase the biofuel mixture that they're using as a bridge to get to that 100% sustainable fuel future that Formula One is looking for, and I live for it. I'm excited for it. Now the race is Sunday. I hope everyone has an amazing weekend, and I look forward to talking to you guys on Monday about anything and everything car news. If you guys enjoyed the Money Shift show today, don't forget to hit us on Facebook at Money Shift Podcast with the follow, or on YouTube or Twitch at Money Shift as well, if those are your preferred platforms. And again, if you guys enjoyed the stream today, don't forget to let someone know. Be like, yo, I found this dude online. He talks about cars. He's pretty cool. You should check him out. Have him check me out. I'm T. I'll see you guys on